Hey guys, what's up? This is Andre, and today I want to talk about my expectations for the upcoming Forza Motorsport 7 game. While you can see some Forza Motorsport Apex gameplay on that really gorgeous circuit of Brands Hatch, for all we know, Forza Motorsport 7 is supposed to be revealed at E3 in June as kind of the headliner game for the 4K capable Xbox console that will most likely launch in Q4 this year. As a fan of car related games and racing games in particular, I really look forward to this title. It is, I think, safe to say that Forza Motorsport has outshined the direct competition of Gran Turismo over on Sony's PlayStation with their last three games. Although Forza Motorsport 5 didn't quite live up to that expectations while it was still a solid game. It just lacked the number of cars and tracks you'd expect from a game that is built around car collecting and identifying with your cars. But Forza Motorsport 4 and 6 are to this day viewed as some of the most complete racing and driving games that are out there, at least in terms of the number of cars, tracks, and graphics. In regard of physics, especially Forza Motorsport 5 and 6 have received very mixed reactions, and known channels like Team VVV or Inside Sim Racing have urged Turn 10 to revisit the current physics engine, if not building a new one from scratch for the upcoming Part 7 of the series. So, as to what I expect from the 7th installation of the series, there are quite a few things. Number 1. More cars. Although Part 6 had with the DLC well over 500 cars, more cars are always better than less cars. More is just more. Now I know you don't want necessarily the same model in 100 different variations, but it would be just nice to cover a wider range of car types even for the Motorsport series. Why not having buggies or real old-timers from the 1930s, for example, just like the ones in the first Mafia game? Number 2. More tracks. As it seems, Project Cars 2 will ship with way more tracks than we are used to this day from racing games, and I think this will set a new standard in that regard. Forza Motorsport 7 has really to up the number in racing tracks and definitely add some iconic tracks like Suzuka or Fuji, but also implement off-road racing. That's where you could race your buggies and off-road vehicles because, let's be honest, we all want to see the different cars on the surfaces they kind of belong. It is for sure nice to drive a rally car on Laguna Seca, but what a thrill would it be if we could have them on gravel, for example? That was, after all, one of the very positive aspects of the Gran Turismo games, that sense of diversification. More is here again always more and better. Number 3. Being able to create and manage your own racing season or racing weekends. For sure, it is nice to have that career mode that Turn 10 tailors for you, and I hope it will stay. But what the last motorsport games are missing is the chance to actually have real race weekends where you can participate in practice sessions, in qualifying, and feel like you really are taking part in something important, rather than just kind of rush through the predefined content and not being able to step right or left from the fixed path. Giving the players the freedom to create their own events, their own schedules, with their own conditions, just like the blueprints in Forza Horizon 3 do, would be for sure a great addition to the series and something many of us long for. Number 4. Competitive online racing with racing licenses and a reward system. Well, I'm not the online racing kind of guy, but I know that many of you are, so it would be nice to have this in the game as well. Maybe you guys can articulate in the comments down below what exactly you want to be included in this aspect of the game. And finally, number 5, dynamic time of day and weather conditions. It is really a shame that we still don't have that. We don't have it in the Forza Motorsport series, but also not in Gran Turismo. and as far as I see it, the upcoming Gran Turismo Sport will again not feature it, but instead you will be able to choose fixed conditions that will not change during the course of the race, exactly the same as in Forza Motorsport 6. The fifth installment was even worse. As the headliner of the back then so-called next-gen console, you end up with not even having rain. Turn 10 at least had for every track a different but fixed time of day. Some tracks had sunny conditions, some overcast, some races took place in the morning, some in the evening, and so on. Forza Motorsport 6 was a jump forward, but only a small one. Yes, the addition of rain and 3D puddles, although a bit exaggerated in my opinion, as in those heavy rain conditions, it's pretty unlikely that a race would even take place, so I expect them to dial back on that one in the 7th game. But as I was saying, the addition of racing in the rain and night racing was much needed, but it is still not dynamic, whereas real racing lives from the dynamic of the elements. It puts a developer with the kind of resources Turn 10 has to shame when you see that a smaller studio like Slightly Mad manages to have all this in Project Cars, no matter what flaws that game might have. Project Cars 2 will even feature temperature changes and different seasons, which will have an impact on the driving physics. I mean, how cool is that? I think this is stuff that Forza Motorsport 7 has to have in order to be a great game. The resources to achieve that are definitely there. Okay guys, so there you have it. These are my expectations for Forza Motorsport 7. Let me know what you think and what you expect in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up and well, maybe subscribe for more stuff to come. Until next time.